as Alderperson Kavanaugh had sought Alderperson Kubishak to sit in for him tonight. I don't think we need to state our names, such a small group. I think Tim can get it. Agenda item number 2, replace 1996 Case tractor with a used 80 horsepower mini loader.
All right, so this piece of equipment, like I said, is a 1996. It's been in the fleet since it was brand new. It's a 2-wheel drive tractor that the Parks Department typically uses to sweep off the ice ponds. So it virtually has just a single use to it. It's, like I say in there, it's 2-wheel drive, and so if we try to take it off road, if it's not real sturdy ground, it typically gets stuck because all the weight's on the front, not on the rear. In 2017, we looked at replacing this with a brand new piece of equipment and demoed a bunch of different ones. And it's like, at that time, it was $90,000 to replace it with a brand new machine. And for something that we currently put 100 to 150 hours on it, I was having a very hard time, as was Matt was spending that amount of money on something that was going to get that limited use. We currently borrow a very similar piece of equipment from the wastewater treatment plant when we need to, but it's because of their operations increasing and things like that. It's starting to get harder to do that, and so we then began the process of looking for a used one, and weren't going to just spend money on a used one just to have one. So over the time period, we looked at about 5 different units over the last 2 years, and we found this one. It used to belong to the Minnesota DOT, and we looked up the service records, and it's been maintained very well. It only has 500 hours on it compared to everything else that we were looking at had around 2,000 hours on it. And it's still pretty much the average price of what's going market price and stuff like that. So it's going to allow us, because of it being a smaller loader, we're going to be able to, in a 4-wheel drive, we're going to be able to use it in our snow plowing, and then also won't have to rely on the wastewater treatment plant's machine. We'll be able to do our own operation. It's actually a little bit bigger than the wastewater treatment plants, where we'll be able to reach into our multi-axle trucks and, like I say, have more uses for it than what we do with theirs. So requesting to purchase this machine from Joe Welch Equipment in Minnesota. And like I say, it's I think it's been in service for 3.5 years. It's got 500 hours. So
what do you typically get out of one?
So in talking to the sales rep that sells the brand new machine, this is not equivalent, or not like a big loader where you can get 10 to 15,000 hours on it. You can typically get 5,000 to 7,000 hours on them without having to do any major repairs to it. So even at that, we're still thinking that we're going to probably be less than 300 hours a year. So we'll still be able to get easily 10 years out of it yet. So what we're looking at doing is taking the existing detachments that we have on the tractor and modifying them. It has the universal skid steer plate on the front of it. So we're going to make a new hitch for it and be able to use the majority of our attachments. But the beauty of it being a skid steer plate, skid steers, they make all kinds of different attachments for it. So we'll also be able to use that on this too.
I'll make a motion to approve
the purchase of the 2014 Case for $64,500.
I'll second. There's a motion and a second to approve the purchase. Any further discussion?
I guess just one real quick question. Are they kind of holding it?
Yes.
Potentially? Okay.
Yep. So that was the, so prior to the last committee meeting, we had gone and looked at it, and they didn't get back to me soon enough to get it onto the previous agenda. So that was the only reason why I was asking for the special meeting, was just because they actually called me on Tuesday and said that they had another party come to look at it, but if we told them that we were very interested in it, then they would hold off to sell it. So
cool. All right, that's all I got. Nope, I'm glad I came. Good story.
Okay, motion and second
We
to
don't have
approve.
to ask questions out there.
Motion and second to approve the purchase. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you, Paul.
You got me too, Paul.
Good find.
Item number 3 is consider for approval a recommendation from Statewide Services to deny a claim from Sandra Kane for damages to the claimant's vehicle.
I'll make a motion to deny it.
And I'll second. And I don't know if anyone,
Basically, all this does is just shorten up the statutory time that the claimant has time to 6 months to take legal action.
and
further
it
legal action.
appears she actually drove off the driveway. Like she wasn't on her driveway, she was off.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Cindy kind of handles the claims for us in our office, so, but basically that she
I think
drove into the,
myself, it's just good practice that we, if our insurance company says deny,
Yeah,
we probably should deny. We pay them a lot of money to
yeah, and like I said, all it is,
investigate these.
it's just
things.
shortening up the statutory
Yeah.
times that she has to take legal action, so it's not taking away any of her rights. Or
Right, of course, sure.
Just to play the devil's advocate type of a thing, in a claim situation for anybody that's watching in TV land, what is the remedies or what is a course of action that a resident would have if they believe that they were in the right, I guess? Is it through circuit court?
Yeah, I mean, they would file for a judgment or claims like that, small, depending on the size or the scope of it, so, but, basically all by denying is just that we're shortening up that so you don't have this, so you got 6 months. Claiming, anyone that has their claim denied by formal action of the council then has 6 months to take any further legal action against the city or the insurance company for that. So otherwise, if we didn't do that, then you could have stuff hanging out there for a long time. So that's why this procedure is put in place.
That, and if we also choose to not listen to our insurance company, then we assume.
And plus, we don't want
Taxpayers
to
are
get into or judge and jury on
Right.
all these different claims and stuff like that. So that's why we have
That, and there's a possibility that our insurance company could drop us too if we're not willing to listen to them.
Exactly.
So,
right. So who seconded that?
Motion second.
Okay, thank you.
So there's a motion and second to deny the claim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Agenda item number 4 is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned.